Imagine a country that disappeared from maps, was bombed many times, and had no money left. It was completely bankrupt. Now imagine this same country rising up against all problems to become a huge economic powerhouse worth $1 trillion. This is not a made-up story from a movie. This is the amazing real truth of Poland in the year 2025. Poland reached a big milestone. It joined the top 20 wealthiest economies in the world. This happened exactly 1,000 years after its first king was crowned in 1025. Is this just a lucky timing or something more important for history? This book will tell a story that feels almost like a myth, full of unexpected turns. A country that was divided by others, erased from maps, taken over, bombed, rebuilt under communism, and then changed by a big revolution, is now among the richest nations on earth. But how exactly did Poland do this? What clever choices were made along the way? What outside forces helped, and what price did its people have to pay? The answers touch on many important areas: how the country was led by its politicians, its place on the world map, the spirit of its people, the use of new technologies, the impact of wars, and the simple, strong wish of every person for a better life. This book will show you the full, inspiring journey. Poland did not have a lot of lucky natural resources, like big oil fields or huge diamond mines.
Yet it managed to create what many call the greatest economic miracle in modern Europe. We will follow its dramatic journey step by step. It started with times of very fast rising prices, known as hyperinflation, and completely empty shops. It moved to a time of high-tech dominance in certain industries. We will see how Poland went from a deeply broken command economy, where the government controlled everything and decisions were based on old ideas, to a strong and successful free market economy. In the late 1980s, its money lost its value very quickly, and people stood in long lines just to get basic food. The economic machinery of a country with nearly 40 million people was completely breaking down. This book will explain how a nation went from being close to total collapse to achieving such incredible wealth and stability. Get ready to learn about radical, sometimes painful economic plans, the hard times its citizens faced, and the clever ways Poland found its path to prosperity. This is a story of resilience, smart decisions, and the power of people to rebuild their future. 2. A very bad start. Imagine working hard every day in a factory in Poland around 1989. You work long hours all week. You earn your money, but you cannot relax. By the time you try to buy basic food like bread or milk, your money is worth much less than it was just a few days ago. This was the catastrophic situation many Polish families faced daily. It caused great worry and made life very difficult for almost everyone. For about 40 years, Poland had a special kind of economic system called a command economy. In this system, the government owned all the factories and shops. It told everyone what to make, how much to make, and what prices to set. The government planned everything, but it did not work well. Factories produced goods that people did not want or need. Many times, shelves in shops were empty, and people had to wait in very long lines just to buy basic items. This was a deeply broken way to run a country's money system, based more on ideas than on real needs. By the late 1980s, the problems were huge.
The country's national debt was very high, so high that Poland could not pay other countries back. To try and solve this, the government printed more and more money. This made money lose its value very, very quickly. This rapid loss of money's value is called inflation. At its worst, prices went up by 50% every month. Think about it. If a loaf of bread cost 1 zloty at the start of the month, it cost 1.5 zlotys just 30 days later. This meant workers sometimes got paid several times a week, but their earnings still quickly became almost worthless. People felt helpless and angry as their hard work seemed to count for nothing. The whole economic system of Poland, a country with almost 40 million people, was slowing down and stopping.
It was like a huge machine that was seizing up and about to break down completely. Shops had nothing to sell. Factories could not produce goods effectively. Life was a daily struggle for food and basic items. In 1989, a new government came to power. This was the first non-communist government in decades. Its leaders, including Finance Minister Leszek Balcerowicz, had to act fast to fix the country's severe problems. They faced a terrifying choice. They could try a very new and bold plan, something that had never been tested before in this way, which might save the country. Or they could do nothing, and Poland risked a total economic collapse. The future of 40 million people hung in the balance. This was not just a financial problem, it was a matter of national survival. The new government had to decide quickly. The big shock. After years of struggle, Poland faced a hard choice. In 1989, a new government came to power, needing to fix the broken economy quickly. Leszek Balcerowicz, a smart economist, became the finance minister. He had a big plan called the Balcerowicz Plan, or shock therapy. It was designed to quickly move Poland from a communist system to a free market. This plan changed almost everything overnight. It aimed to stop the very high inflation where money lost its value fast. It removed limits on most prices and on foreign trade. Suddenly, many everyday items cost what the market decided. The Polish currency could also be easily exchanged for other money. The government stopped helping old state factories, forcing them to compete or close. This was a sudden and complete shift. The first days and weeks were very difficult, causing massive pain. It was a big shock for everyone. Prices for basic goods like food, milk, and fuel went up very fast. Many factories closed. This meant a lot of people suddenly lost their jobs. Before, everyone had guaranteed employment. Now, sudden unemployment was a new and scary thing. Terrified citizens felt unsure and wondered if free markets were a huge mistake. They were afraid of what the future held. But despite the initial pain, the plan started to work over time. The very high inflation was controlled and brought down. A stock market was created, and capital markets began to function better. Polish people, now with economic freedom, began to open their own businesses. Foreign companies also began to look at Poland. They saw a country with many educated and hardworking people ready for a new economy. One smart decision helped Poland avoid problems seen in other post-communist countries. The government did not sell all the big state companies right away. Countries like Russia rushed to sell state assets, which often led to a few rich people called oligarchs getting most of the wealth and power unfairly. Poland was more careful.
It waited to build strong rules and legal systems first.
This allowed time for important institutions like independent media and credible courts to grow. This cautious process created a better chance for fair business and helped prevent corruption. It allowed many different people to start their own businesses legitimately, laying the groundwork for real entrepreneurial growth. It built a strong foundation for a much stronger economy, avoiding problems seen elsewhere. 4. Friends in Europe. In May of 2004, Poland took a very important step. It joined the European Union. This was a major event for the country, joining alongside 9 other nations. People in Poland understood this moment was special, but the true economic impact would become clear over many years. Joining the EU meant Poland gained full access to the single market. This is the biggest trading area in the world. Polish businesses could now sell their products and services freely to many other countries in Europe. There were no extra taxes or delays at borders. This change was huge for trade. For example, Poland's exports to other EU countries increased almost 6 times, from 45 billion euros in 2004 to over 262 billion euros in 2023. Poland quickly became a leading supplier of many important products, such as cosmetics, furniture, batteries, and car parts. Polish agriculture, which had been struggling, also saw a big change. Just 2 years before joining the EU, Poland imported more food than it exported. However, by 2022, Poland was exporting agri-food products worth 47.6 billion euros. This was 9 times more than in 2004. Farmers who once faced difficulties could now sell their goods to supermarkets all across Europe. The European Union also provided Poland with large amounts of money through its cohesion and structural funds. These funds are designed to help less wealthy regions catch up with richer ones. From 2004 to 2023, Poland received a net balance of over 161 billion euros from the EU after its membership contributions. About 65% of these funds were used for modernization projects. The visible results of this money were everywhere. Poland's motorway network, which was very small in 1990, now covers the entire country. New, modern railway lines connected cities that once had old, slow infrastructure. Universities and research centers were rebuilt and improved. Wastewater treatment plants, energy grids, and digital networks all received significant investments. Billions of euros flowed into making Poland's physical environment better, more productive, and more attractive for businesses and people. Membership in the European Union was a key reason for Poland's economic success, contributing to a large part of its growth. It also made Poland a more attractive place for foreign companies to invest. Over $310 billion in foreign investment came into Poland between 2004 and 2023. Businesses saw Poland as a stable, growing economy, supported by EU laws and systems. This strong connection to the Western market not only helped build roads and industries, but also quietly made Poland's economy much stronger, preparing it for a big global financial crisis that no one could predict. 5. Safe in the storm. In 2008, a big financial catastrophe hit the world. This severe financial crisis started in America
on Wall Street and quickly spread everywhere. Many rich countries and their economies suffered badly. Companies closed and people lost jobs. It was the worst crisis since the Great Depression. As the world struggled, nearly every country in the European Union saw its economy shrink. Germany, a very strong economy, went down by more than 5%. The United Kingdom also faced a big fall. But Poland was different. While other countries in Europe collapsed, Poland kept growing. In 2009, when most of Europe was struggling, Poland's economy grew by almost 3%. This was an amazing thing. Because of this, people called Poland the Green Island in a sea of red. How did Poland manage this? What was its secret shield? There were a few important reasons.
First, Poland did not have a lot of government debt. Its public debt was at a moderate level. Second, Poland had not yet joined the euro currency. It still used its own money, the zloty. This was very important. When the crisis hit, Poland could let the zloty depreciate. This made Polish products cheaper for other countries to buy. It helped Poland sell more things abroad and provided a natural cushion. This flexibility was a big advantage. Third, Polish banks were safe. They did not have the risky investments that hurt banks in other countries. These bad investments, like subprime mortgages from the US, caused big problems for banks on Wall Street, but Polish financial institutions did not have these high-risk instruments. This meant they were not affected when these investments lost all their value, protecting its financial system. Poland also had strong domestic demand from its own people to buy goods and services. This also helped keep businesses busy and limited its exposure to falling international trade. Also, money from the European Union continued to flow into Poland, supporting projects and growth. The government also gave some financial stimulus. Its exports were also varied, not depending on just one type of product, which made its economy more stable. Polish consumers and business owners kept their confidence. This difficult time showed everyone that Poland's economic plan was good. It was diverse, strong in its own ways, had good rules, and kept debt safe.
It proved that Poland could stay strong and resilient, even when the world faced big problems. Investors noticed this and started to trust Poland more. This cemented Poland's reputation as a reliable place for business, even during global shocks. 6. Making things for the world. After the 2008 financial crisis, Poland started to become known as the workshop of Europe. Foreign companies saw that Poland was in a good place on the map, in the middle of the continent. It had good roads and train lines to Western markets. This made it a perfect spot to make things. Poland became important for making many different items. This includes parts for cars and electric vehicles, EVs, such as batteries. Big car makers like Volkswagen, Toyota, and Volvo now have factories or make car parts in Poland. The country also produces many household appliances, like washing machines and refrigerators from brands such as BSA and Electrolux. Even LG makes television sets there. Poland is also one of the biggest exporters of furniture in Europe, second only to Germany. This growth happened because of new rules from the EU, the move towards electric cars, and changes in how products are made and moved around the world. But Poland did not just make simple products. Its technology sector grew very fast. Now Poland has more than 600,000 IT workers, which is the most in Central and Eastern Europe.
Every year, over 70,000 students finish their studies in tech at more than 60 universities. Poland's sales of IT products and services to other countries reached almost $17 billion in 2023. This shows a big increase in recent years. Big global tech titans like Microsoft and Visa started to invest a lot in Poland. In 2020,
Microsoft said it would put $1 billion into the country. This included opening its first cloud computing center in this part of Europe. Later, they invested even more. In 2023, Visa, a big payment company, announced it would build a global tech center in Poland to work on new products, including those using artificial intelligence. Poland also became very strong in making video games. Companies like CD Projekt Red, famous for games like The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077, helped put Poland on the world map for gaming. Poland is now number 2 in Europe for making games. It has more than 15,000 specialists and 65 university programs for game development. The gaming industry brings money to Poland and also brings many talented young people to work in technology. This shows how Poland changed from a place with low-cost workers to a top innovator in making goods and developing new technologies for the whole world. Its young and ambitious workforce played a key role in attracting these big companies and creating its own global successes.
New problems to fix. Poland had become a rich country, reaching a $1 trillion economy, but new problems were starting to appear. These were like dark clouds gathering over its success. One big problem was that fewer people were being born, and many young people were leaving the country. This meant the population was shrinking fast. If there are fewer people, there will be fewer workers to keep the economy strong and produce goods. This is a very serious challenge for Poland's future, as a smaller workforce can slow down economic growth and put pressure on social services like pensions and healthcare. Many young, educated Poles moved to countries like the UK or Germany. This is called a brain drain. They went for better jobs or higher pay, seeking more opportunities in Western Europe. This helped other countries, but took away valuable talent and skills from Poland. By 2030, experts project Poland will have 1.1 million fewer workers. By 2050, this number could be much higher, around a 20% drop from current levels. This makes it hard to keep the $1 trillion economy growing and innovating. Another problem was energy. Poland historically used a lot of coal for its power plants. This was an old way of making energy and was not good for the environment because it produced a lot of pollution. The European Union wants all its countries to use cleaner energy sources, so Poland needs to change its entire energy system.
This will be a very expensive and difficult undertaking that will take many years. It means building new power plants that use sun, wind, or nuclear power instead of coal, which requires massive investment and planning. Also, the shadow of war from Ukraine made Poland spend a lot of money on its military. Poland's history taught it to be careful about its neighbors, especially Russia. After Russia's full-scale attack on Ukraine in 2022, Poland decided to greatly increase its defense spending. In 2025, Poland spent around 4.5% of its GDP on defense. This was more than any other NATO country, even the United States, which spent about 3.2% of its GDP. This high spending puts a lot of pressure on Poland's national budget. Money used for defense cannot be used for other important areas, like schools, hospitals, or improving roads. It forces the nation to make difficult choices about how to use its resources. This geopolitics situation meant Poland had to prepare for possible conflict, which added another layer of financial burden. They were buying many new weapons and trying to build their own defense industry.
These new challenges meant that Poland, despite its big economic success, had many important problems to fix in the coming years if it wanted to continue its journey of prosperity. 8. The future of Poland. Poland's journey has been truly amazing.
It rose from a very difficult past, with hyperinflation and empty shops, to become a strong, modern economy, reaching a $1 trillion GDP. Today, in terms of what money can buy, it has the same economic power per person as Japan. This incredible success shows how important certain things are. Doing what works in practice rather than following strict rules. Pragmatism. Building strong and fair systems, like good banks, courts and laws, institutions. And the strong, determined spirit of its people, resilience. This growth was not from finding oil or any natural luck. Instead, it came from smart people, starting new businesses, and consistent hard work, offering valuable lessons for many other countries around the world. But Poland now faces new, big tests for its future prosperity. One major challenge is its population. Fewer babies are being born, and many young, educated people are moving to other countries, like the UK or Germany, for work. This demographic change means there will be fewer workers, potentially 2.1 million less by 2035. This could make economic growth slower. Also, the war in Ukraine has made Poland spend a lot on its military, even more than the United States in proportion to its economy. This high defense spending puts pressure on the country's money, meaning less can be spent on important areas like healthcare or schools. And it creates a large fiscal deficit, where the government spends more than it collects in taxes each year. Poland has been very good at adopting and using technology developed elsewhere, becoming a workshop of Europe. But to grow even more and move up in the world, it needs to create its own new ideas and products, not just use others. This innovation gap means it must invest more in research and connect universities with companies to find new breakthroughs and lead in new fields. Another big change is moving away from coal for energy, which has been its main source for a long time. This transition to cleaner energy, like nuclear or renewables, is expensive and difficult, but needed for the environment and EU rules. So, can Poland keep growing and become a world leader in new ideas and technologies? Or will the burdens of an aging population, the high cost of defense, the need for new innovation, and rising public debt stop its golden age and bring an end to its remarkable climb? This story of great economic success shows how delicate and wonderful progress can be, reflecting the true fragility and beauty of this historic economic miracle. It is a testament to how far Poland has come from its hard beginnings. What do you think Poland needs to do next to keep its economy strong and overcome these new challenges?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.